Okay, guys, so if you click on the little like green bars in like the main menu there, it'll give you the different tools. You can click the X at the top of those menus to make them go away again, but then you can always get them back by clicking on them again. So that's where you're going to find your tools that will let you like change the brush size, create a new canvas, undo. And then the color menu will let you pick your color. You click on the color you want, it kind of shows up in this bar across the bottom of the colors, and then you can either click individual squares to change individual squares, or you can drag your mouse. So you saw just there, if I click on the like paint, the pink paint pouring bucket there, it's gonna fill in the whole space. So there I filled in like my whole space. You can see I probably didn't really want that, so I hit the undo button and I undid it. That's kind of like, Control Z on your regular computer. So you can make something pretty simple with this. You could even make something just like a pattern. I am making, maybe you can tell already, I'm making like an apple. I think for me, what makes these look a little bit more interesting, just for my taste, is using, multiple different like shades or values of the same color. Keep in mind that there is an undo button. It is right below the scissors. So if you accidentally hit the fill button and you it doesn't look right to you, like maybe there's a space that it went into that it shouldn't have, hit the undo button, change back to the pencil. Um, a lot of the times when I'm using this website, something that I do by mistake is I click the paint bucket because I want to fill in a space, and I fill in that space, and then I go choose my new color, and then I forget to change back to the pencil. So just keep in mind that there's always that undo button. It's right below the scissors in like the editing. So I am going to speed this next section up a little bit so that it's not so long to watch. I think this is like maybe 4 times faster than real life. I think the takeaway from this is just have fun with it. You don't have to create anything super complicated. You can make a pattern. You can just even just play with the tool. It's just an option for you. You don't have to make an apple like I made. I will show you at the very end of this video some examples of artwork that friends have made, I think from last year. So I will tell you that what I'm doing like right now on the screen, or was just right then, was I was saving my image. So if you go to the import/save tab, that's a green tab, you can, like, it'll give you an option to kind of like drag your image. So here I am, I've sped this way up. It's like 8 times faster than I made it in real life. I am making it's like a slightly more complicated pixel art. I still do the thing where I kind of like, instead of making a leaf just plain green, I'm thinking about using a couple different shades of green. I think it makes it, to me, it makes it look a little bit more interesting and less cartoonish, but I guess pixel art really is kind of cartoonish. Um, so it's sped way up. You will not be able to do it this fast. You can move these little boxes around, the little like tool boxes, if you need to fill in a space. Um, but you can also just like when you're finished with your artwork, you can crop out those like weird empty spaces, and that's totally fine too. Really just like experimenting with, drawing on a computer is kind of like the goal for this if you're choosing to do this. When we do this lesson in school, you're supposed to learn we learn that you know, a computer shows you images using pixels, which pixels really are just like really, really small pieces of information. And we know that when we look at any image on a computer, what it is it's lots of really small pieces of information that are coming together to show you something. So we're going to look at just a couple examples of pixel art. The first two there, the ice cream cone and the heart, are some really just like simple images that you might even be able to recreate yourself. These next two, this really pretty kind of like Chinese looking scene, and the it's like a real life pixel art. It's someone who's made like some street art. Those are made by professional artists, as is this next one here. It's a type of art you would refer to as like street art. That I find particularly interesting. When we study this at school, we look at mosaics. Sometimes we make mosaics because mosaics are kind of similar to pixel art in that you're taking lots of small pieces of information and you're making a bigger, a more complicated image. This year, if we had been at school, I was planning on also showing you some images of knitting work and needlework, which is a traditional art form, as is mosaic art. And it's similar to pixel art for me because it's taking lots of really small chunks of information. Like you make one stitch and it's just one color. But when you put all those little pieces of information together, it makes something more complicated and interesting. So these last, like, I think I have 4 of these images, are ones that you guys made last year. I don't remember who made them, so I can't, like, shout you out, but if you see yours, like, super awesome. I saved a few of them. I don't think I saved all of them, though, last year. Okay, my friends, if you made it this far in the video and listened to all the ums that I said, wow, this was painful for me to listen back to. Okay, have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye, guys.